I didn't see any. I'm watching. I didn't see any.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, that makes you take
Like this is like the blueprint, isn't it? So it's like it's in the future. So it's like Star Trek, yeah. Obviously, this is the blueprint. So this is the base, but then everything else is like hologram, isn't it? So this is like the feds, and then obviously it's like Star Trek, so they're fighting.
Hold on.
There's only one thing for your diagram.
Yeah, where's
It's a hologram, it comes up off the page.
That's what. It's a hologram. So this, like,
Okay, so it's a blueprint. That's fair enough. Yeah,
If
yeah.
you want to destroy the feds, then you have to destroy the blueprint, the base of the core.
Very good, mate. Very good. Very good.
That's the hologram, it comes up. Hey, what are you doing?
It's the winning scene. The winning scene. Well done. Well done.
I think that was accountability, because it was talking a lot about habits, about little things that we can do every day, and that could make the difference. And I think that it helped me a lot because in life, in general, and I have to admit it, I'm a little bit messy. And sometimes even you can step on the pitch as well, because I think Jace could tell you that sometimes when this is things too easy, don't pay attention for it.
I think it made me realise that little decisions have a bigger effect in the future. So for me, it's that just thinking about more of the little things I do, not just thinking at the big decisions. I think there was one which we mentioned about having a car, for example, and paying so and so a month actually leads to so much in years to come, and it makes me think, did I need such a nice car? That's something that in my personal life I've done previously, and I've spent so much money in a car, and I feel like if I invest that money better, I could be in a better financial situation in a couple of years to come, instead of having to wait a longer time.
For me, it was accountability, as like still taking control of situations, and like sometimes I didn't think I could, like at home, I wouldn't take control of the situation, but now, after hearing and learning about things about that, like for example, like I live with Wilbur, like if he's left a mess, like I'll tell him, like to make sure you tidy that up, and vice versa, he'll do the same for me.
Probably accountability, because I think that was linked to the thing we did about like the money. We done money exercise, and it was like not like, for example, me myself at the moment, like my mum would like sort a lot of things out, like my car, like I'll just have to pay that, but in terms of all the paperwork and that, like, but I want to take more like responsibility for my own stuff in terms of like sorting out like bills, tax, stuff like that. Because right now, to be honest, I don't really know a lot about that.
But the player care really helped me find other ways to motivate myself. Like, on the pitch especially, I get so much motivation by motivating others. So when someone does something good and I tell them they've done something good and they acknowledge it, and I know that it's made them feel better and play better, that really motivates me as well.
Thinking about what I want for my life, like for my family, and yeah, it's just the same as on the pitch, like what I want for my career and how I want it to look in the future. So I think that's how motivation helps me a lot.
I think just being together as a team, it sort of helped like the bonding wise and getting to know people. Like you hear stories that you'd never really know about people if you was just in the changing room day to day. So yeah, I think it just brings more out of people talking wise.
I speak to a lot more of the scholars I do now than I ever have done, and I feel like today when they come and train, if you come and train, it's like nice that I'm a friendly face for them and I can come over and like talk to them for a bit to calm them down and just like see them do well. And off the pitch, like tell you a lot. I'm happy as I've been with my missus, so yeah, that's quite a bonus.
I feel like I've been able to come much more mature, because I'm able to speak out problems, and I feel like when you speak out, you're able to get feedback and improve on yourself. So in that sort of sense, yeah. And then on the pitch as well, I think I'm much more vocal than I was at the start of the season. So being able to talk to people around you and like being a leader.
Yeah, man. Like every time I came to the session, like my communication got better with the players. Like it's getting closer to them.
Cool.
Yeah, because I had to speak to the group it was helping me off the pitch, like in the change room and stuff, so I was getting more confident. Positive speaking and how you talk to other people, how you come across to other people. Like, even if someone does well, like telling them they're doing well instead of just keeping quiet. Like, things like that. I think I want to improve on that.
People spoke about different things that had happened in their life, which may not have been nice to hear. I think that one session, wouldn't say changed everything for me, but it was something that helped me look at other people differently, and especially myself, don't take anything for granted.
Firstly, I was able to speak in front of the whole group and just say stuff that's happened in my background and in my past, and they've listened and understood how I've been through things, and this really helped because I've opened up in front of everyone, so it gives me more of a confidence boost to speak again. So yeah, I think it's been good for me.
Everyone, I feel like you create stronger bonds with everyone. So you're learning, because you're learning other people's stories. You respect them and what they've been through, and you know how to talk to them in certain different situations, and definitely that's helping each other out, and it carries on to the pitch as just motivates each other.
Just everything's improved. So the body language has improved. My communication is not as negative as it used to be, because I'd probably be the first person to either get onto myself or get onto other people, and then it would have given a good reaction. So I think that now I look back at it, I think now the body language is getting so much better.
Would be the self-awareness one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe think about myself out of football and inside of football as well. How I put myself across to people.
I'll say Module 5, which is about confidence, and for me confidence is a big thing. I have to build myself because I'm not used to speaking out loud in front of everyone or a whole team. I'm just used to being the guy in the corner just by himself, just analysing things, but I've learned to take in more information as well, and yeah, I think it's built up for me.
Module 5, which is the confidence thing, I think the environment we're in, I think confidence is key. It takes into games. If you're confident, you feel like you'll play better off the pitch. If you're confident, you have a better morale about yourself and you just go about better. So yeah, I think confidence is a major factor.
Motivating others, and them learning how to motivate you and talk to you in the right way can build your confidence.
For me, it was the confidence module, because it's something I feel like I've had to work on, because I've struggled with it over all my life basically, and it's just taught me to be more confident in group discussions if I have an opinion rather than just listen. I feel now I'm able to voice my opinion and not keep it, it might be beneficial for others.
First, it helped me to practice my English, because I'm new there and I wasn't able to speak English properly 6 or 7 months ago. So it helped me first for that, and just as you said, the fact of being everyone together to be able to debate like that,
If I'm not voicing my opinion, then I'm not going to be heard, so I can't take control. And if I'm not taking control, I'm leaving it for other people to do. Whereas, like I said, I want to be a leader personally, so I have to take control myself and be the first person.
And one of the main things that we found was a lot of people were communicating the same to every player, and they were getting different reactions. So learning more about each person has kind of changed people's thinking, and I guess helped, because I think communication is the big thing within a team to be successful, especially on the training pitch. So having that aspect improved upon was big.
Creating a habit out of just having normal conversation with people. I think I spoke to you quite a lot about it, just speaking to my missus and my mum. I found it quite hard to open up and say how I actually feel, thinking it was a weakness, but it's not really a weakness, it's a strength.
it's not the big step, it's the small steps in between that will get you to the big step, which I kind of skipped before because I always thought, like, I always looked past it. I think that didn't take as much into consideration, but yeah.
I think the topic on seasons make a career, which I like broke it down, games make a season, and it's all like takes the pressure off each and every training session and each and every game, so I can go into games and not feel as much pressure and just know that it's a much bigger plan. Like there's a much bigger plan than what happens in this game. So
I remember you saying sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. So like you can't always win, but you don't take it as a loss. You just move on and think how it could be better in the future.
All the time you're helping someone else, indirectly it's helping you, because if you're bringing the best out of someone else, then it's only going to positively impact you, because if that's on the pitch, they're going to help you or just making you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, I think the longer it went on, the more aware I come to think about it more and come to a realisation that like it can help, and I think more so as a person than a footballer, because I think I was looking into the different modules that we've done, like different aspects of like the topics, and taking that more into my like personal life, which I think was needed more so than football in a way. So.
Completely. At first I wasn't too sure about if it would help me or not, and I would definitely, like, looking back here now, I think how why would I think that? Like, I'm always thinking about what I'm doing now, and I think that's really helped me as well with my performances and on and off the pitch. And I think just overall it's been a positive reaction after having all those meetings together.
Came to mind like this was accountability, and the reason for this is because, in my opinion, if I'm accepting responsibility and taking charge, it just makes me a better person, and it's helping others as well.
I think communication is key. That's something I need to start talking more, whether it's on and off the pitch, but I feel like I really need to start like talking to people.
Allow myself to motivate others and myself before needing to, if that makes sense, because I think sometimes we wait until we need motivation to start motivating ourselves, and by then sometimes it is a bit too late. So I think just from going forward, I just want to be able to motivate myself from the start and just stay motivated instead of having a dip.
I think off the pitch, accountability. I found living at home, I've been kind of passing the blame to other people in the house for everyday things. And on the pitch, I think resilience. I've had my first kind of sticky spell this year, and I think it took me too long to bounce back up from it. But I guess being in that situation helped me learn from it and take it into the future.
Probably if I can do it, you can do it, because I thought I was going to be a couple sessions in and finish straight away, and I did have the choice to stop coming, so I think from that I've taken a lot of things I've learned, and I think without this on the pitch and off the pitch I wouldn't have as much knowledge or know, for example, how to speak to people or just things like that. So I think it's helped.
I think it was the motivation and the communication one. I think that's always been a problem with young players in how they communicate and ways of communicating. And if you turn that in terms of the motivation side, as if they're not speaking, how are they going to motivate probably themselves and even the persons next to them? So it's like those two sort of did cross over quite well in terms of the motivation, where it's, yes, they are a team, but how am I going to get my fellow teammates to perform at the level that I want them to be if I don't know how to talk to them, and in a way which is actually going to get them motivated to help themselves to help me. So that was a good thing, but it was the communication one where it's gradually improving in terms of the way that they spoke in here to each other, how they actually spoke to each other away from here and on the pitch as well.
I think the biggest change that I've seen in the group is communication. From where we started to where we at by the end of the programme or halfway through it is communication, which was really challenging for them. because when you start the year, you've got your first year pros, your second years, your third years. They don't necessarily get on or worked or played together before. Then you have some trialists coming in from the outside, and it's like having that group communicating together. It's really difficult, but I think the program helped in terms of giving them ideas and methods, as well as raise awareness about how important communication is for them individually and for the team. And there was evidence of improving towards the end of that, whereas communication was more positive, more precise, more constructive, so they're taking feedback from each other's. I think that was the biggest change.
I think it's them actually realising what they actually want, because we all know that they're here in the building because they want to be footballers, we know that, but it's breaking that down to, yes, you want to be a footballer, but how are you going to go and do that? We understand you want to be a footballer, but what are you going to do to do that? And that's the person as well as the player. And I think that was the one where it was trying to get them out of it in terms of, this is what I want to be, how am I going to do that? And then the forward thinking of, well, this is what I want from my life, but it's going to come from football. So you want that for your latter part of your life within football, but how are you going to get that? And I thought that was sort of like that icebreaker in them finding out about themselves in terms of what they wanted and how they want to go and do that.
On a personal level, I think core values, that really was challenging in terms of self-awareness and trying to create a culture in the group of the 23s. The reason being because it's a mixed group, so you have all your pros, but then now and again you have first team players coming in, and then once you have your base, your values, and other players, outsiders coming in to the group, they might bring in different values, and then how do you deal with that? And I think that was the most challenging thing for me in terms of implementing the values. So basically, for me, it was motivation. It's to stay motivated as a coach day in, day out. As you know, it's a competitive environment. It's very demanding, and we're motivating players. But then we need motivation ourselves. And I think the program has given me a platform to realise that motivation comes from within, and then by motivating others, you get your own motivation. An example of that on and off the pitch would be on the pitch, despite losing 3-0 to Leeds United, I was still standing on the touchline, getting behind the boys, motivating them, because I thought I find motivation in motivating them. And off it, I dedicated some time to learn about journeys from other coaches who've been through a lot, and they stayed focused and motivated to get to where they want to get to, which is obviously the vision that we've discussed in our program before.
You can go full cycle again and go and do all the. It's only going to up each topic and each for their own in terms of that percentage was there, now it's there. So it's helping and aiding me more and more that I do or cover those topics.